Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the sex, you ain't trenching enough. Whoa, we do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Whoa, Shizzy and Jago beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, Sam Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live on the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be absolutely insane, guys, because the bull run is here. We are in week 2 of a 10-week bull run that's going to lead us all the way to the first week of June. I truly believe that. I truly believe last week we had people coming back. Twitter is getting explosive again. Twitter is you're actually seeing a lot of people who left for a long time saying, what assets should I get into? It's happening, guys. So the next step is prices. And we got Bitcoin right now sitting around $88,000. I truly believe we're going to be at 91, 92 by 4 p.m. today. And then so on and so on. So next week potentially 105, 110. We get to that, we might see 120, 140. With Trump right now, every business that he's in is getting into crypto, whether it's ETFs or whether it's stable coins. Yes, Trump is getting into stable coins. Guys, the opportunity is here. The opportunity is in crypto. The opportunity is now. You got to take advantage of this. Stop being on the sidelines. It is time to go all in on crypto. And I truly believe that. I am 100% all in on crypto. And this is an opportunity that you will look back on and be like, holy crap, Shizzy was right. Shizzy was finally right, but he was right. But it might be an opportunity to sell a mango away, because I do not believe the summer is going to be as bullish as May. So that's all coming, guys. We are really excited to get the show going. So much news. I did see that the comments, there was a Reaper last night. Apologize to anyone who got reaped in the comments. We'll get into that in roll call, but it is what it is. That's the name of the game. But without further ado, bringing my partner here as always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
man? How are you doing? How's everything you feeling? Are you feeling as bullish as me, or am I just jacked up on caffeine today?
I'm feeling pretty bullish, right? There's all those catalysts that I keep talking about every day, right? And then we're leading into, the weekly chart looks good. The weekly chart looks really good, and so I feel like it's we're due for some green candles here. So for the next couple of weeks at least, I imagine that we're going to be ramping up to some good environments for crypto.
Yeah. Let's just say the next 10 weeks, do you believe 140, 160 is on the table for Bitcoin?
Ooh, man. Like we got to get back over 100K for me to feel pretty good, right? I'd be happy if we're, we cross back over 105 and then 110, and then eventually, I'll feel more comfortable saying, seems like we're gonna try to go for another all-time high. It's definitely not, out of the question, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
we're due for another move, so it would make sense. 10 weeks is a little over 2 months. So that would put us right at like that May, kind of middle May. Which if you look
June 4th, yeah,
would
would
it?
be the end. Yeah, I did the math.
Okay. So June 4th. So okay, so
I think
actually a little bit
the first
after
week of
that.
June will be the end of this little mini bull run. In my
Yeah, and
opinion.
if you look at the previous cycles, in the spring, May is kind of when things start to peak out for that period. So makes sense to see an all-time high in that time frame.
Yeah, I'm thinking we hit 160 to 180 in June. And then eventually that'd be the top, and then head back down to like 120, 130 through the summer. Very boring summer between 120 and 140. And then in September, October, I'm thinking we're gonna hit 250, 300, and then absolute insanity. November, December, January of next year. I truly believe that, kind of leading us all the way over till next May, which I think is going to be a blow off top at 700K. But we will see. Let's kind of get into some reasons why I think that. Trump Media signs agreement to partner with Crypto.com and launch ETFs. We do know that, they're not really focused on Bitcoin ETFs. They're not really focused on Ethereum ETFs. They want to get SUI ETFs, Solana ETFs. They want to actually push a lot of the stuff that World Liberty Financial is holding, in my opinion. How big is this for Trump Media? They're listed on the stock exchange, right? This is the JT or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's his middle name?
TJ. DJT.
DJT. Yeah.
There you go.
So what do you think?
I think this is big. This is huge. The Trump media getting involved with these entities, meaning that he's going to want the U.S. to be the biggest player. He's a prideful guy, obviously. And that doesn't always mean a bad prideful, right? Like you can have good pride in what you do, and you want your country to be first. And obviously, he has some skin in the game with his family doing this. So I think the U.S. is going to be really crypto friendly coming here in the next 3-4 years, and so we should see a lot of developments. Yeah, this is bullish for our space for sure.
Yeah, dude, this is insane. And then going right into the next thing. So both of these articles come out at the same time. World Liberty Financial to launch USD1, an institutional grade stablecoin, fully backed by U.S. Treasuries and cash equivalents. They're getting in the stable game. With the ETFs, with the stablecoin, they just launched on Binance Smart Chain. So this isn't an idea. This isn't an idea, right? The ETF stuff, they're saying it might not launch until September, October. This stablecoin is officially live on Binance Smart Chain right now.
They seem like they're trying to put their footprint in multiple different ecosystems, right? You have World Liberty Coin on Ethereum. Now you have a stable coin in BNB. Where are they going to be next, right? So I think it's pretty smart. I'm sure they have somebody that's doing a lot of deep dives and a ton of research and what makes sense for them to kind of have this part of their business over in this chain and this part over here, right? In my opinion, this is kind of like them having that exposure to like China a little bit, right? Being over on BNB, which is the biggest chain for that community. So this is huge as well. This is going to just strengthen the whole entity that he is building, him and his family are building in our space. But also I expect probably some real world asset stuff like tokenizing, like TradFi type of assets being a part of what they offer soon as well.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest thing to ever happen to crypto, in the sense that this is the president of the United States. This is his stablecoin, right? The biggest stablecoin in the world right now, in my opinion, is obviously Tether, right? But Tether has a lot of problems and stuff like that. And then you got Circle and what they're building with USDC. Coinbase is the backing that, right? But then you add a competitor like World Liberty Financial, right? They could potentially be bigger than Circle. because of how many Trump supporters and people that back him and stuff like that, right? So it's just like this could actually be bigger than USDC. This could really be. I mean, they're partnering with Crypto.com with the Trump media, right? So potentially they're in talks with this as well. Like this could be Crypto.com's version of USDC.
It could, and it's going to be interesting. What grows from this, because a lot of
Yeah.
moves are being made right now, but I feel like these moves, we're not going to be able to see how effective they are going to be until the industry gets much more lively. People start to use like USD1. It's more of like a household name, stuff like that. And I don't think we're going to see that probably for another 6 to 12 months. But like,
Yeah.
these are the pre moves to something I think that's going to be much bigger.
I love it. USD $1, right? It's 1.00. Like it's just awesome. Like I think it's a great name. Because $1. So but moving along here. So the big bad wolf right now is this April 2nd tariff thing, right? Where Trump's gonna basically put, if you have a 15% tariff on an item or a certain thing, gas, whether oil or whatever, we're gonna give you that same back. Right, reciprocal taxes. That's what he's saying. And if you already have taxes, this is going to be more taxes on top of that, right? But now he's coming out and he's saying, he may give a lot of countries breaks on the tariffs, right? So this is kind of like a sell the rumor, buy the news to me, in my opinion, right? You're kind of selling the rumor, you sell on the chance that these tariffs are going to wreck everything. But then after it happens, maybe it's time to buy. Maybe that big bad wolf is behind us and he wasn't as big and bad as we originally thought.
Yeah, and it usually works out pretty well that way versus the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So this would actually be really good, kind of reverse situation of that. And I think some of the people that were used to kind of how Trump operates probably didn't expect him to be such a hard nose with this, but
Yeah.
it's all about his negotiation tactics, right? And leveraging what he has his hand and stuff like that versus theirs. And so he knows that he's going to be judged on the economy, the financial markets, and now heavily on the crypto markets, right? And so he wants things to get better. And so this is where I think like other world leaders will really try to work with him, and try to figure out like, where they stand, and they want to get in good standing with him. And then that will in turn, make the financial markets more bullish, I think.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Going on to the next thing here. So this bull run to me has been going on since 2023, right? With Ordinals kind of leading the charge in the very beginning. It's easy to say Ordinals were the number one, mind share in the bull run in the beginning, and then it went to Solana and everything Pump Fund was giving, right? And then it went to AI, right? I feel like those are the three big narratives so far this bull run. But like, what's next, right? So you got to think, maybe it's still AI, right? A lot of people are thinking that, but what if it's something else? So Miles Dusher here says RWA just hit 10 billion in TVL for the first time ever. So I bring up the chart here. This is the TVL. You can just see it, right? Sideways, boom. We're starting to get a huge boom right now in TVL and RWA assets. Could RWA be the next narrative after AI for this cycle?
I think RWA is the silent, like, huge narrative of the cycle, right? And it's silent because majority of it is going to be TradFi that is creating these platforms, right? Because you need to tokenize, all of these, securities and assets and stuff like that, right? And so I was reading an article, I can't remember who wrote it, but I was reading it on my timeline that, TradFi is way more involved in crypto than we think as retail, users, and even the people that cover just the, typical crypto Twitter, or like, what we're used to, because they have their plans and they're very secretive about stuff in their industry because they know that like it's very, dog eat dog over there. Like, they want to be first and with their product rollouts and stuff like that. And so that's where I think this is starting to, build up, right? And it's silent because it's not necessarily anything that people that are on crypto Twitter are interested in at the moment, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple maybe intricate people that cross over from TradFi and crypto back and forth and stuff that are aware of this. But it's everybody on crypto Twitter is about like, what's the hottest meme? What's the next thing like that? AI is kind of the extent to that. So I do think RWA is going to be huge, but also with RWA, you have like, I think there's going to be like a new sector as well. So RWA is more primarily towards like these traditional assets, right? Like bonds, securities, all these things, right? And then you're going to have, in my opinion, like a goods type of RWA, more of like tangible goods. What are going to be the business flows, and how does using blockchain technology make the experience better for like a consumer, that were to use something like eBay or to use something like Amazon or something like that, right? And so I think there's going to be like a emerging commerce sector. And then of course, like AI will continually do its thing. I think AI is always just going to be running, and it's going to be front and center because it's front and center in the world right now. But RWA is the big narrative that's kind of silently building up in the background. That was a long-winded answer, but I just wanted to kind of break down where my mind is with it.
Yeah. So 100%. I 100% agree with you. There's going to be more art, like real world assets coming on. Like for instance, right? I'm just using it as an example. I have no interest in getting into doors, right? But potentially down the line, right? Like you need doors for your home. Potentially you can go online, you can look for doors. But let's just say you don't want to buy that door. You have nowhere to put it. You don't want to pay for the storage. You're not ready for that. But when your house is done being built, when you're able to start building on your house or changing things up or whatever, you want those doors. You could potentially buy that door as an NFT. Right, from anywhere, and now you own that door. You own that serial number, that door, where exactly where it's at. Everything is like, and someone is just holding that for you, right? And in that instance, maybe you pay a little bit more for the door so you can continue that storage. And then when you're ready to use it, you redeem it. That door gets sent to you, or you go pick it up, and then you can able to access it, right? And in those terms as well, you're going to be able to potentially trade that door. You're going to be able to, oh wow, the lumber market just shot up. Now this door could eventually go for a lot more than I paid for it, right? So there's going to be, like, this is just an example, right? But there's going to be scenarios like this that having that NFT and trading real world assets is going to be something we do on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's interesting you pick doors though.
the easiest one, because when you're building a house, right? Like for instance, like when
like
my
a
sister
contractor.
my sister does real estate, and she says sometimes the hardest thing to do is get doors on the house, because especially during COVID, when there's a shortage of everything, for some reason doors were like the hardest thing to get, and their prices skyrocketed, right? And I was just thinking an asset in her business, what would help her purchasing the door now, but she's like, where am I going to put it? You don't need to put it if you buy an NFT form.
Yeah, no, that's a great point for like business owners that and they might be scanning for good deals, and they just want to capture that good deal at that moment, and they just kind of I agree. That's something that we haven't seen yet, but I it has, in my opinion, that's something that has to kind of eventually happen, crossover, right? Is going to be like, everybody looks at crypto as just kind of like this alternative new age like financial market. I think it's much more than that. I think, yes, there's part of it, but then there's going to be like a goods and services part and just regular services, right? So it's going to be really interesting, and we're going to see the biggest companies for the next 20 to 50 years, 20, 30 years, I would say, develop out of here in the next 12 to 24 months, I think, and then after that as well, because this is a new sector, this is a new technology, this is going to be a new way of living life. And whenever COVID happened, we kind of did like this little timeline switch to where this is a new thing, a new era of society, and COVID, crypto and AI. You're going to be able to use your AI with that too. You mentioned before, go and purchase this for me, use my Ethereum or use my USDT and stuff like that. So it's going to be exciting, but also maybe a little overwhelming. Just, stick with us and we'll all get through it together.
I don't think it's overwhelming at all. Imagine telling your AI, hey, I want to build a house. Go get me all the NFTs I need to build this house. And he gets you the lumber, he gets you the doors, he gets you everything. But you don't need to take that anywhere. Do you have everything you need already purchased and bought with your crypto wallet using Bitcoin, right? And now you just redeem one thing at a time as you're working on it. Everything's bought. You're not worried about prices going up. You're not worried about anything. You're not worried about storage, anything. You're just worried about getting the asset when you need it and having that price locked in, and that's kind of what that is.
Yeah, but it's also an adjustment of lifestyle. But I think it's going to be,
Adapt or die. It's
yeah,
kind of how
kind
it
of
is.
situation.
Yeah. All right. So BlackRock adds blockchain-based money market fund to Solana. Solana.build is that fund. Now they have Ethereum, Solana, Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Optimism again. Sorry, I said twice, and then Polygon. Why do you think Solana was after Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Optimism, and Polygon?
Oof.
Good
I'm not
question.
sure. Yeah,
It's weird.
maybe because they lately have been kind of looked at as this, like, if you had to pick one chain that was the most degenerate chain, it would
Yeah.
be Solana.
Yeah,
And
you're
if
right.
if you feel like that's an exaggeration, then I challenge you to play on Pump Fun for a bit, and you'll see that, like, when you play on something like Pump Fun or Solana in general versus something like Odin, which both have similar mechanics, it's
Yeah.
night and day to me. I feel like Solana is extremely way more hard to get anywhere. It just feels like you're getting ripped off left and right.
Yeah.
And maybe because so much of that has happened, it's kind of starting to not be taken as serious. I'm not sure. Obviously there's still huge investors in it though. So
Yeah, 100%. That's yeah, you're right. Because could they just see Solana as like the users as the bottom of the pile, right? The scum of crypto. I didn't say that. That's just kind of what it seems like.
I feel like they're
is
like
saying in that,
the guy that, like, drives the Lincoln Town car and is like, hey, excuse me, sir, hold on a second. You like watches? Yeah, I like watches. You like Rolexes? Okay, hold on a second. Pops open the back. Like, that's
Yeah.
like that's how these, like, Pump Fun, like, deployers are. I feel like, they really try to
Yeah.
suck people in and then just really just extract, right? And so I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of change that and go more towards utility, but that's probably what they need to do.
I actually bought a watch off someone like that once.
Really?
it was a parking lot in Kmart.
Don't
It was like 10 years ago.
Fun.
Yeah, seriously. And I bought a watch for my stepdad's birthday. So yeah, so it was $100. But anyway, Massachusetts subpoenas Robinhood over sports prediction markets, investigating its recent launch in college basketball tournament contracts. Who is a senator in Massachusetts?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yes, she's at it again, guys. This is what you would have gotten if we kept that administration in, right? You would have got more and more of this. She has nothing left, and she's still shooting her shot here. Like, this is absolutely insane. What do you think about this? And had to be Massachusetts of all places? I mean, come on. Massachusetts and San Francisco are probably the two places that are still against everything.
Oh, is there no casinos in Massachusetts? I thought there was the Foxwoods. The Foxwoods, actually, no, that's in Connecticut. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like she's trying to start. She has some sort of tie to this.
Well, the word here is contracts, right? So
Mhm.
when you do a sports betting and stuff like that, there's no crypto contracts, there's no smart contracts, right, involved like there is with this situation. So I don't know.
I just don't know if she's going to get anywhere with it, though.
She's not going to get anywhere with it. But the fact that she's still trying just shows me that we're in a lot better place. You know, people would say, "Oh, if this person was president, the prices will be higher." Yeah, they're probably higher now, but the industry would be destroyed by the time that person was done, right? So, but yeah, now we're kind of getting wrecked now. But by the time he's done, crypto's going to be in an absolutely insane place. Here's something. Binance suspends a staff member for insider trading after internal investigation reveals the employee used information from previous role at BNB Chain to purchase tokens before a public launch. Binance, should this person be suspended or should this person be fired? Or do you think that this is just like a precaution now to kind of get him out the building and then fire him later? I think suspension for this. I mean, this is you go to jail for this.
Yeah, you go to jail for it. You get investigated at the very least.
Yeah,
but this is good for Binance to put this information out there to let the world, and more specifically the U.S. market, know that they're trying to be on top of it. So this is not only this is a strategic move for sure. But it should be made regardless of what you're trying to, what your ulterior motives are, right? But I'm glad that they are making it public. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. This guy should definitely. We gotta nip this shit in the butt. We have to. Like, this stuff has to stop, especially with places like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, Gemini, all the top exchanges, especially the US ones. If Binance wants to be here, a US company, which I think they've initiated, especially with Binance US, they need to get their shit together. And this is kind of shows you that they kind of are. So
yeah.
Speaking of exchanges, crypto exchange Kraken is reportedly exploring a debt package of up to $1 billion ahead of potential IPO, according to Bloomberg. Why do you think they would need $1 billion before an IPO?
Whew. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know, maybe just to show people that are going to be going into the IPO that they have runway. I don't know.
Yeah. No, 100%. You hit it right there. Have that war chest to say, hey, like, if anything does go wrong, because I think if you're an investor, especially in an IPO, right, you want to make sure that if any hack like Bybit happens, they're able to cover that with no problem, right, with any shutdown. So having that 1 billion, and I think right off the head there, you got it. So having that 1 billion actually is necessary for all exchanges in case the 1.4 billion in ETH gets hacked, right? So,
well, they wouldn't be able to cover that.
well, they probably have USDT, USDC, but having that 1 billion just sitting in an account
as extra emergency funds,
yeah. Do you think that's important?
I think it's important to have a war chest for sure.
Yeah.
Especially in the market that we're in. But I'm hoping that the market actually becomes more stable in terms of perception as well, like, how investors look at it, because right, there's a reason why we attracted last cycle and in the beginning of the cycle some of the more risky, more risk, I guess, like they take on more risk in terms of like VCs and stuff, right? And it's because that's how our market is. But if we can make it a little bit more, more stable as time goes on, then the investors won't be as anxious, and that's good for everybody.
Yeah. Nobody wants anxious investors for sure, especially hedge funds. So, all right, the next thing here, something we talked about yesterday, but I saw a chart by Miles Ducher here. So I'm just going to read the whole thing just in case anyone doesn't know. So Strategy now owns 2.4 of the total Bitcoin supply, and that's of Bitcoin 21 million. We know that we're only at 19 million, right? We're still 2 million to go. We know that probably people are saying 3 to 4 million, including Satoshi's million, is locked forever because they're lost or whatever reason, right? People die with their seed phrase. There's hundreds of reasons why Bitcoins can get lost. So I'm thinking MicroStrategy owns closer to 5%, especially right now with only 19 million in circulation. Well, we think is in circulation. But look at this chart here. Let me show my screen here. So this is MicroStrategy's been buying, right? They started here. I want to say about September 2020, August 2020, and they're buying. You see pause periods, right? Pause periods, and then then they had a big pause period.
That was a bear market.
That was a bear market, right? No way we're buying. Then when Bitcoin started showing some life again, when it got back to around 30,000, they started buying, right? Same thing. But there's spaces in between. Look at the little one here, but spaces. And then all of a sudden, explosive buying. I mean, absolutely insane. They went from around 200 in, I want to say, early 2024 to about 500. I'm sorry, 200,000 in 2024 in January to about 500,000 right now.
Ooh. Yeah, that's
isn't that insane?
Vertical candle, yeah. Yeah, but that's whenever he changed the strategy, I believe, when he started to be able to use whatever assets within their stock, whatever it was called. I forgot what it's called. But then he really started to deploy there. But also I imagine that, the confidence of what the expectation is going to be this year as well had something to do with this as well, right? So
Michael Saylor is bullish, guys. So if you're sitting on the sideline while rich people continue to buy, this is why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. The rich are, very risky. Michael Saylor, I don't care what anyone says. This is the riskiest thing probably he's ever done in his entire life, right? Because, I mean, obviously we know Bitcoin's going to go up, but you're betting on it right now. Like he can't have Bitcoin drop to $80,000 or he's going to look like an idiot, right? He needs it to continuously go up. Or if he does drop to 80,000, he needs to find funds to buy. There. Well, I'm just saying, but he found funds to buy. If it drops to 70, 60,000 and he's not buying at that point, MSTR is dripping. It is going to be leaking, right? It's going to get destroyed because then his buying pressure, he can't take loans out. But the higher Bitcoin price goes up, the more and more loans that he can take out because MSTR actually goes up, right? If it goes down, he can't take loans out of it because it's down, right? You can only take collateral when the price is up, and then he needs MSTR to go up to keep taking loans. So
yeah, I do remember him slowing down a little bit on this last pullback before making some more, and then his initial purchase was actually kind of smaller. Then he ramped it back up. So maybe at that point he was trying to figure out how to get more capital, and it seems like he did. But Miles Deutscher said that he's crazy, right? Didn't he call him crazy?
Well, I don't know if he called him crazy. He said, Saylor's insane. Yeah. Saylor's insane. I missed that line there. Strategy now owns 2.41%. Does this? Okay, there's another question here. Does the concentration scare you?
Not with him. And if the way that the US is heading and society is heading, then like he's going to be able to always like borrow against just a little bit of it, right? So I don't think he would sell any substantial amount down or anything like that. So it doesn't scare me yet. But I think if he continues, if it were to jump to like 5%, I think, of course, that's like scary.
Well, MicroStrategy is a publicly traded company, right? Anyone can potentially own this Bitcoin. I can go to the stock market right now, potentially. I think that's the difference. If Michael Saylor himself owned this much Bitcoin, that would be scary. Because if he gets a divorce or if he gets sued, right? If things could happen to where he'd be forced to sell that's when it could get scary. But the fact that this is a public traded company, it's not that scary to me because it's thousands and thousands of people actually own this Bitcoin, not just
Saylor. But can the board override him? Yes, right?
He is the board.
Yeah, but there's board members.
He has 90% of the voting power. Yeah.
Okay, so then no, they can't.
Yeah. So there's a board, but they kind of like just give him information. So, but I think the shareholders themselves have a vote as well. I don't know. I gotta look more into that, but I know that he is the dictator basically of that company. So
gotcha.
So the hedge funds are back. They're coming back right now. DWF, right? I'm going to get into what they are, but DWF Labs has launched a $250 million liquid fund to invest in mid and large cap crypto projects. DWF is a global digital asset market maker and investment firm that operates in the crypto space. They transitioned into crypto, bringing TradFi strategies like market making, liquidity provision, and quantitative trading into the digital asset world. The hedge funds are coming. They're coming from TradFi. $250 million fund. They're waking up. Remember last February, March, we were saying, there's no hedge funds. Like, what is going on right now? But they're back, and they're coming back really strong right now with with everything that's happening. Us going into quantitative easing, whether that's really important to them or not, I don't know. But it just feels like with everything that's with regulation and quantitative easing that we know is coming, TradFi is transitioning to crypto companies, and DWF Labs is one of them.
There's a lot of capital that could cross over here in the next 6 to 12 months from TradFi. So keep your eye out on that. This is exciting news. I actually just found out that he has 45%. Michael Saylor has 45% voting power right now. So that's
he had a lot more. He had a lot more in the beginning,
but he lost it, I guess.
But
so that's the only thing that could scare me on that, by the way. It's the 55% on the other side of the board, but they trust him. They trust him.
You just need one friend, right? You just need one friend to get over that 6%, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's kind of get into that Bitcoin fear and greed here. This one's going to be a lot easier to give you a hint on. So last week we were at a 34. Yesterday we were at a 45. We are a tiny bit more bullish today than we were yesterday.
47.
Right there, 46. So I tried to stress on that.
You tried word, but... you tried to help me out on that one. I can tell.
We're a tiny bit higher than yesterday. I like being neutral. Like I said, next week we will be 60, 70. We get to that, we will be in the 80, 90s. Do you agree with me at all?
Ooh. Oh man, that's just too hard of a jump up. I feel like, unless I mean, look, if we cruise through 90K, it seems like it's actually uh taking its time to level up the price trend for the uptrend, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it can happen really fast. We've seen it happen really quick. So if it does happen quick, we get through 90 really quick here by the end of this week, then yeah, I could see those numbers. I would
Yeah.
say probably more of like the 70 to 80 range though.
I think by May 1st, we'll be in the 90s. I think we'll be extremely greedy.
Yeah, that's enough time.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura is building a leverage trading platform. Their main net will be on Hemi, but right now you guys can go to the Botonics test now. All you got to do is go to the Artura.finance and you guys just make one trade. One trade gets you guys put into that. Go to it today, guys. Get a MetaMask. So, collect your MetaMask. They'll give you Bitcoin. They'll give you USDT. You can make some trades. Go long, go short. Doesn't matter. 150x leverage. Doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. One trade will get you into that, guys, and definitely do that because we truly believe, well, I do anyway, that Artura is going to try to enrich their community. I truly believe that if you were a part of their community, especially in the early days, and I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth, but so this is just my thinking, right? They're gonna be very, very helpful to the people that are actually using them today, and so on and so on. And when they are on the Hemi mainnet, Hemi doesn't have a token yet. Hemi could possibly be doing an airdrop. Artura, we know, is doing an airdrop. This is a win-win situation for you guys. Don't be stupid. Airdrop farm this to death if you can. I highly recommend it. Don't tell them I said that, but I love our community and I want to enrich you guys as well. So I definitely want you guys everyone to be going to Artura.finance this week and getting you just open an account. Like, it's free. Only thing you're wasting, only thing you're potentially can lose is your time.
Yep. And before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out on the YouTube side, smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, hit that like and share this space for us, guys. As well as the abstract side, that would help us out a lot if you share that stream. But let's jump into some price action here, brought to you guys by Arturo, which I believe we're going to have on later today.
Yep.
So let's jump in here, starting with the hour chart as always here. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking pretty solid, right? Just kind of ranging back and forth to where we were yesterday, right? We kind of topped out at that 888,500 and the pullback after this massive uptrend right here. So this is normal, in my opinion, to see something like this. It's not always going to be up only, unless there's just back to back bullish, like catalysts that are happening at the moment, or if we are in that moment where they say, okay, let's flip the switch, which could be coming up here soon in the next couple of weeks. So for the rest of today on the hour chart, looks pretty good. We just started this buy pressure, so I expect this to continue. We just got into overbought here as well, sitting at that 100-point mark pretty much there. So I expect a little bit more push up here, unless there's a news headline that comes in. So wouldn't be surprised if we tried to knock on the door of 89. And if that happens, who knows? Maybe we'll challenge 90,000 for later today. Could happen, right? But it does seem, like we are in this buy pressure moment for the next at least 4 to 8 hours. It could be stale a little bit. We'll see, though. It's not starting off super aggressive, but we're maintaining this upper 87, 88 $1,000 price point for Bitcoin there. And then the 4-hour is looking, make sure that's the 4-hour here. There we go. Let me pop that back up. Okay. So 4-hour, man, this is a beautiful candle here. Looked like it was trying to head down into the oversold, but it looks like it wants to turn around here. And I expect it to continue kind of curling back up on the stochastic RSI if that hour does take us to that $89,000 mark, getting us back to 88.5 and then challenging that 89,000. And if that happens, who knows, maybe we get a little extra bullish like I mentioned earlier. But this looks pretty decent, right? It tried to close up here, which would, let's say it did, and we started some sell pressure, then we would head into Thursday, probably, with a little bit of a downtrend, but it looks like it, has kind of stopped in its tracks here and wants to kind of keep going towards that uptrend price action. So the rest of today is gonna, really determine if we can kind of turn this around here. If we do have a pretty good day today, then I imagine that this is going to open up here down here on the MACD, and then the next couple of days will be pretty bullish. But always remember, though, if we have like a consistent uptrend for like a day and a half, it typically switches a little bit. So if we're in more bullish times, then you'll have a stronger like uptrend with a little bit of a pullback. And then if we're in the opposite, it's going to be the same, stronger downtrend with a little bit of a pull up. So I'm feeling pretty good with Bitcoin's price action. Let's check the weekly chart, see if it's still looking pretty good here. Yeah, so the weekly looks pretty good for Bitcoin here. You can see, yeah, we're consistently kind of forming, this weekly green candle here, which would be great. That would be our third weekly candle in a row. I do feel like if that happened, we would start to kind of manipulate this down here. This MACD would start to curl up here, which would be great. Because when this chart looks pretty good, that means like the zoomed out, the next couple weeks could be pretty good, right? So if our indicators are showing that we're coming out of the sell pressure, which it's starting to, it's like the beginning steps, right? If we finish this week strong, I imagine this is going to look much better by Sunday, right? And then that means that we could really have something that builds back up, and then we hit like another high here. So that could actually play perfectly into that, that May new all-time high 120 to 140 range, which would be great. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the weekly here. And the others chart. So this is the one that shows everything else in crypto that's top 10 besides Bitcoin. And we're looking pretty good, right? Like we are coming out of the bottom range of the 50-day EMA, which is great. If we can continue this up, break above that top part of the channel, man, we could really, at that point, we would feel like we're probably in alt season a bit, right? Or get like that alt push for the alt market, because that, for that to happen, I imagine that would be like 2-3 weeks out to come out of there. But then, let's say that, we're getting through April, it's like perfectly lined up for like a blast off in May for alts, which would be amazing if that happens. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out. Again, this is just kind of high level. It's not super in-depth TA. We don't do that here, but we just try to let you know where, we feel like the price wants to go. And it's been really hard to determine that the last month and a half, but it seems like things are getting a little bit easier to kind of forecast, right? Which is always good, especially if we're bullish, have a tendency to be more bullish in terms of where we want it to go, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, I put myself out there last week when everything was sideways. I said we're going to enter a bull market. If I'm right, I want everyone to tell me that I'm right. I want to make sure the world knows. Shizzy said this when everything was dead, and I got that hint from crypto Twitter. People were coming back, guys, and that is the first sense. Is it's always people coming back, and then the price going up like this week, and then next week everyone's gonna know we're in a bull market. Right now, the bears are still yelling at us, saying this is the bull trap. Next week, everyone's going to be convinced, but by that point, it'll be too late for you. It'll be too late for you to buy the assets as cheap as you can possibly get them. You can still buy them pretty cheap next week, but every single week you wait up until June 1st is going to be higher and higher and higher. And then, in my opinion, sell in May and go away. Come back in late, probably August, September. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Let's kind of get into today's roll call here. Let's see who is here. And last night the Reaper reaped. I apologize to anyone who got
what triggers
reaped,
that?
I have no idea. This happened at 8:00. So you put out the thing yesterday, probably what, 1:00, right? So we had some people come in, and then whatever happened between 1 and 8:00, I have no idea. No idea. I think it's something in YouTube's back end or something. I have no idea. Maybe ChatGPT, someone can look it up on ChatGPT why this happens. I don't know. But it happens, and we just got to play the game. We got to play the cards that were dealt, and these are the cards. Congratulations to Webdro. Nobody is helping him, by the way. I love Webdro, but like we're not.
He works at YouTube.
Yeah. That there could be a possibility with that, but if he wants to potentially lose his job for a Bitcoin frog, I don't think he's doing that, right? So, but shout out to Webdro. Shout out to you won, man. I'll give it to you. You deserve it. You're always here. You're always participating. You're a huge part of our community, and we here at Ordinal at OnChain Revolution. Really
Ooh.
appreciate you, my friend. So, I almost said the wrong name there. I almost unbranded our rebrand. But now, shout out to you, man. I'm actually putting you in right now. So it is your last win. Oh man, you haven't won in a long time. You haven't won since March 7th. Let me actually bring up my chart here
Is
for
he
you guys
still?
to see
Is
it
he?
as well.
But he's still in first place.
Oh, by far, yeah. So look, so this is his last win was the 7th, and he hasn't won since then. So your 12 is now a 13. So you are leading Danny now. So Danny has 11. WebJoe has 13. PJNZ has 7. And then I think Lucky Lukey has 4. And ASAP Benji has 5. So that is what it's looking like right now. And if you want to say first is first, Mike's World got number 1 on January 1st. Maybe I'll give Mike's World a prize for that win if he's still around. But that's always huge. Being first is first, and that's the point in this, right? So shout out to all you guys every single day. Shout out to WebJoe. All right, let's get along with the roll call here. We got Danny Boy. He says, "What, Danny Boy? What was it? Danny who got reaped? I don't know, because that's crazy if it was.
No, it was Lucky Lukey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lackey. Oh man, Billy Cat. I didn't see it personally, so I don't know. So yeah, shout out to you, my friend. And then we got Crypto Spartacus in the building. Shout out to Crypto Spartacus. Thank you so much for being here from the Twitter side. And we got WebDro. ASAP Benji is here. He says, "No way. You're not botting YouTube. No pulling rug on people that coming too close to you." Yeah. Shout out to ASAP Benji here every single day. Mats is here. PJNZ is here. Can we get a double reaping? Nah, that would have been cool. The tweet of the day goes to my friend here, Ordinal's Chips. It's been a while. We usually see your brother. But today we have you. He says, "We believe in Shizzy." Yes, believe in Shizzy. He will advertise to our tokens. I don't know if I'm going to do that. We are magic tokens on the BNB network. Oh, he's talking about Merlin. Shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a partner of ours. So, but the chain is our partner, not necessarily the token, right? So, you guys got to do what you got to do, but definitely check out the Merlin chain for sure. Nabob is here. Shout out to Nabob. Super fan is here. GM. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Mats is here. Says GM super fan. Steamy J with a yo. Choda says best show on YouTube. Yes, thank you so much, my friend. You are a legend here as well. Thank you so much for being here every single day. Patty Poo, the Bitcoin machine himself. Shout out to you, my friend. Patty Poo says 92K is the first test, and ad test will be completed really soon. Patty Poo says, "You guys been doing any volume on ME for the next airdrop? Made it to the top 1% and think it's going to be juicy." So I didn't realize they were having another airdrop. I'm still part of the 1%. I actually bought some runes recently, but I didn't even realize that was an option. Did you?
No. But it's probably a part of their quest or something. I'm not sure what is part of, but I did know that they were going to continue doing airdrops, but I just didn't know the details about it.
Yeah. All right. Chief Axel finishing off our guy. Absolutely amazing. And then Superfan. Shout out to Superfan again. Shout out to all you guys who make roll call every single day, guys. A comment in here really helps the show. So if you're someone who watches who cannot comment, just type a yo in there. Please smash the like, guys. We need to start building our YouTube. YouTube for some reason has gotten absolutely destroyed. If you guys wouldn't mind helping us out with a like and a comment every single day, that would really, really make me happy. Thank you guys so much who are already participating in that. So. All right. Let's kind of get into the next thing here. Okay. So this is actually insanely bullish. The stablecoin supply on Ethereum now. We know Solana stablecoin has been rocket ship, right? But Ethereum really hasn't seen much stablecoins coming alive. And we do know Ethereum users are smart money. They're big money. They're very rich people. We don't see a lot of degenning happening on Ethereum. When people use Ethereum, they're using it to get yield on big assets, or they're using Aave, they're using Makers, they're using these really, really big protocols like Curve, and they're getting small percentages of yield, but with lots and lots of money, right? So I'm gonna actually show you this chart here. Crap. This might have been one to go. Oh, here it is. So this is the chart on Ethereum here. So this is the stable coin. So obviously back in 2022, we saw 125 billion in stable coins. And then we saw that drip off. And really, look at this, dude. Sideways up until about 2025. And it has been going up. over the last couple of months, but no one's really been like seeing any differences. And then just recently, we kind of just pushed up even further, passing that all-time high. So shout out to Ethereum stablecoin. This is something probably to pay attention to, but I think we this doubles within the next couple of months. I think Ethereum, we need Ethereum to come alive, and because that's big money. That's the money that pushes markets, right? So Solana is a little nickel and dimers, right? But Ethereum stablecoins are people actually getting into big assets that could push the market, like Bitcoin, for instance.
Yeah, it seems like Solana is really the casino, way more towards the casino, and Ethereum has the platforms and stuff for DeFi and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a good sign. People are coming in with stables and waiting probably patiently to see, you know, what is the moves to make here in the next couple of weeks to a month.
Yeah, Ethereum's the most secure chain, right? You can talk about any chain in the world, right? Besides Bitcoin, obviously. I'm not talking about Bitcoin, but Ethereum is definitely a second to Bitcoin. But if you're doing any type of DeFi, Ethereum's number one if you're there for safety, right? It's really never really been hacked besides the first one, which was technically not Ethereum. That was Ethereum Classic, but Ethereum really never really been like taken down for any reason and stuff like that. So obviously protocol has been hacked, but for instance, like Aave, MakerDAO, and all these other ones, right? They're the safest. If I would ask you if you had to pick a safe exchange, you'd probably tell me Curve, Aave, Maker, and so on and so on. It would definitely be on layer one Ethereum.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, that's where the infrastructure started for DeFi, right? So,
Yep. All right, moving along there. Ton Foundation raises $400 million to supercharge ecosystem growth. A strategic token sale on HDX Global just brought in $400 million for Ton blockchain, fueling mass adoption and empowering the next wave. Why do you think Ton is raising so much money right now?
probably because they want to, you know, be able to have like a builder program and stuff like that, and be able to work with large entities that, you know, bring Web 2 into Web 3, right? Like I forgot what chain partied with Line. Oh, I think it might have been Sonium that partied with Line.
Wow.
And Line is kind of a similar messaging service like Telegram. Telegram is a little bit more expansive than Line, but you know, I do think that they want this capital to be able to supercharge the ecosystem growth, right? So exactly what they said. So
but like saying that is just so, you know, fueling mass adoption and like it like you could say that, but like what do you think they mean?
Grants,
what exactly
grants,
are they? Okay, builder grants,
builder grants, you know, partnership, infrastructure, build outs, stuff like that, right? You know, we're so early in the stages of mass adoption and doing this merge between Web 2 and Web 3. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, right? But they're the people with this kind of capital, they have an idea, you know, and they need the capital to do more with that idea. And so that's what it seems like to me. But I'm not surprised. We're going to hear more of this kind of stuff, you know, like who was it that we just talked about? The $1 billion. So Kraken. So that's a centralized exchange, right? So now you have Ton, which is utilizing their Telegram network with their, you know, chain and all this stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, the household names and who really comes out here in the next couple of years, because we'll see it.
What about airdrops? Do you think any of this money could potentially go into a community airdrop to users? Yeah,
it could.
And that's what I was thinking originally.
Yeah. Maybe they do like some sort of partnership with the certain builders too, and say, you know, here's 10 million for your community's airdrop. I don't know how they're going to do it, right? And then maybe they do an overall one as well. But there's several different ways to be able to, you know, have capital to really expand your chain and ecosystem, and making the right choices for that is going to be very important.
Yeah, because I was thinking potentially they could airdrop $100 million of Ton token, right? And obviously you don't need money for that, but what you would do in that situation is you'd buy back that token so the price doesn't get ripped off, right? So if you do a mass airdrop to users and farmers and stuff like that, and then buy back the token as it gets sold down, that could really push the people who hold on to those airdrops. It could really have them join the community. They could even do other communities as well, right? Bring people, give them the gas token so they can use the chain. No one has really used the strategy before of potentially airdropping a different community, because if someone airdropped me a ton, I'd be like, let's go see what I can do with this, right? Like, I would like, if it was a couple $100, I would be like, let's go to ton and see what I can do with it, right? So
Yeah.
I think no one's really using that strategy.
Yeah, it's more of like payback or giving back to the people that already used your ecosystem, right? But people are going to start getting creative with it, I think. And that's one of the things that we haven't really seen yet in our space. Unfortunately, there's a lot of smart people, a lot of developer mindsets, and then just a lot of degens, right? But, the creativity from a business perspective, like, there just has not been solid business fundamentals in our space really much. Yes, a couple instances, and some of those have thrived, right? Whether it's Polymarket, whether it's some of the pump fund stuff, that's gonna thrive because degens, right? But like, we just need better business people in our space, and we'll get it because TradFi has that because of the capitalistic mindsets in the businesses that were built there. Some of that's going to come over here, but it's going to be a fresh breath of air for me to see more of that type of stuff, because we need more solid substance here.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Jump to the next thing. Dogecoin Foundation establishes official Dogecoin reserve through its new corporate arm, House of Doge, and purchases the first 10 million Doge worth $1.8 million. Is this significant at all? This is the Doge Foundation creating a Dogecoin reserve. This is like the Bitcoin Foundation having a Bitcoin reserve. It's kind of like, what do you need that for?
It's significant though, because what this is a part of is the crypto buybacks, right? Okay. So this is something I've heard a couple times the last couple days, right? On my Twitter timeline, and actually Jeff kind of talked a little bit about it too. And this comes from TradFi, actually, stock buybacks and stuff. And so if this happens more frequently here in the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months, this could also spur kind of like this ignite the run up as well, right? Because then you'll start to see these headlines, and then people like that. Doge holders like reading this. They love this. They're just kind of like, oh wow, okay, they believe in what they are, right? So I love this. I think that we'll start to see more headlines like this for even smaller projects that say, hey, we're buying this much back. We're buying this much back. So just keep your eyes open to see what projects are doing that, and what projects aren't doing it as well.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about it like that. It's very it's very equal to what they do in TradFi with the stock buyback. So yeah, you're right. This is just potentially locking Doge up, and if this is just the beginning, but like the foundation, how much money do they actually have, right? Like, how do foundations work normally? It's usually donations, right? Like, a lot of people make money, and then they'll donate to the foundation because they're a large holder of that coin, and they want the foundation to do good things, and they want the network to upgrade and stuff like that. So where else do you think that they're getting this money from besides donations?
I'm not sure, but eventually I think these foundations are going to have business models like baked in somehow.
True.
But the donations right now, if you have whales that are appreciative, because like that's what happens sometimes, like whenever like you have like crypto whales that are married to like a specific coin because that coin made them millionaires or whatever, right? Or made them millions of dollars. They'll give back to this, especially if the foundation's locking it up. To them, they're just like, this is a good for the whole community, for me, for the rest of my bags, whatever, right? In that aspect. But I do think foundations will probably figure out how to monetize or make revenue, because they're going to have to, and if you have support and you have, a lot of wealthy people that support you, then you'll be able to figure out how to create revenue.
Wouldn't it be better, instead of doing this, for them to go buy miners though, and mine more and more Doge?
Maybe they do have miners.
They do.
I don't know.
They do. No, they do.
Yeah.
Just like the Bitcoin thing does. But I was thinking, instead of wasting this money on buying Doge for a reserve, potentially like help power the network. I think,
Well,
that's one thing about proof of work and proof of stake, right? When you have proof of stake, you can do this. When you have proof of work, I think you just have to buy more and more miners because that's going to earn you more and more in the long run anyway.
yes, but also this makes a statement to the community, and it says,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're buying this much," and if they say they're buying miners to mine more, like that might not hit as hard, or for the
Well, you buy
community. You know
miners
what I
to
mean?
power the network.
Yeah,
Not the,
yeah,
not the,
I get that, but I just feel like this is more of like an effective like messaging, right? And
I gotcha.
especially if it's going to be like around the space, you know what I mean? Then you're one of the foundations of that your coins community that did step up and do this. Again, that's why I said pay attention to the ones that don't do this and why
Yeah.
they're not doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more. All right, guys, it is Tuesday, just about 12 p.m. Eastern time. And every Tuesday, we talk to our guys over at our Finance. We talked about them. They always sponsor our Bitcoin price action. And now it's other price action as well, because we're covering a lot more other stuff as well. So I really appreciate those guys. And let's bring them up right now. We got Instant. We got Marine. Guys, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thank you guys so much for being here. GM.
How's it going, guys?
Going pretty well. Going pretty well. Sentiment seems like it is
Yeah.
it's turning back up, but don't
Yes.
want to
That was
get
right.
don't want to get ahead of it. Don't want to get ahead of it too much because as we know the past month and a half, there's a lot of fake outs, right? So
Yes.
I'm just kind of watching, glancing at the price and seeing if we're consistently going up. How are you feeling about it, Marian? Do you feel pretty good about the price action we've seen, or are you still just being very cautious?
I'm cautious. I need to get some follow-throughs on the price action because we're just breaking out of this consolidation, but I need to see follow-through from some levels because we can just move back into the range. So when in doubt, I demand extra confirmations to confirm my statement.
So
Smart
I
man.
said it last week. I said we're about to enter a 10-week bull run. Last week was week 1, and I still stand by that. Right, I feel like this is week 2, but I also said no one's going to realize we're in a bull run, a 10-week bull run, until week 3. So I don't think so. This week it's kind of like how you said. I need more information, right? I think
Yeah.
you're going to get that information this week, and then next week you're going to agree with me and say, Shizzy, you're right. We're in a I think we're going to be in a cycle bull market of 10 weeks before we hit that June 4th, and that June 4th is maybe selling May and go away strategy might work really well.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up something real quick and I'm curious what you think about it. If you can see my screen,
Yeah.
let's pull that down and put this up here. So I've been looking at the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and the weekly chart setup looks pretty decent to start with. This is a good starting point, because we did bounce off the top of the 50-day EMA channel, which was a good sign. And we just kind of came out of this like, now this red candle was just so nasty.
Yeah.
right here, right? So I was like, it's like a bull flag, but then it's like extended. But this buildup is looking pretty good. Obviously, it's a weekly chart, so we need some more time to get more further confirmation. But if we do get, let's say we end up with a green candle this week and next week, and it doesn't have to be overly aggressive, but we could really change these leading indicators to kind of give us some hope for like possibly a good April, May kind of time frame. Do you agree with me, or do you feel like still
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
just too
I
early?
do actually agree because as you can see, that range that we had, that can be seen like power of 3 concept or accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So that you can see that there was a accumulation. Then we have that. Then we have a manipulation lower into those FVGs to the left, those big displacements. As you can, I don't know if you know about that, but we had a manipulation in some levels.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a bit nasty because we haven't closed with respect candle. We disrespected because of the body candle closure. But now price is like getting back up, so it can be distribution phase. But like you said, we need more confirmation about that.
Yeah, definitely, because this could turn into a consolidation again, right? So, what we and that's okay if we like I said, if we end this week in green, the next week maybe red, and then we have consolidation. Let's say consolidation really starting now for the next couple weeks, and then then we can possibly hit like an uptrend eventually if everything plays out correctly, or if it's just we have some good catalysts with the M2 money supply, and the Fed is being a bit more dovish, cutting back on selling assets April 1st. So, we do have a lot of catalysts to play into, a bullish kind of next 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks. So we'll see.
It's very interesting to see because everybody wanted to print in times like this and sell in May and go away, right? And then in summer, it's like dead market. But now
It's
people
completely dead. Every summer.
But people don't have any profits now. So I don't know how will that be.
Yeah.
Well, we have April, we have May, right?
Yeah, but it's like too short time. And then we have a summer and it's dead.
Yeah. So
we've
actually,
it's gonna
we've had
be
bullish Junes though. We've had bullish Junes, and then July and August have been dead. I mean, we've seen that in the past.
Yeah, we could see something like that. We could see something like that, but we could also now there would those catalysts would really have to play out. Our economy would really have to get energized, but we could see, something like we did in what was it, 2020? I think DeFi summer or something like that. To where I don't expect it to get crazy though, because I expect if we have that crazy moment, it's going to be the Q4 moment, in my opinion. But it's going to be very interesting. And I appreciate your feedback, and I'm glad that you see what I see on that weekly chart, which the indicators, the setup, it looks good. We didn't go below that top channel of the 50-day EMA, so that's always good for now. It's a good start, I'll say.
Yep.
So, awesome. All right, Instant. You guys have been grinding away, getting ready for Hemi. What's the feedback that you guys have been getting from your community, and how excited are you and your team?
I mean, I think like in general we're really excited. We have 60,000 trades on the testnet so far. So that's like a big win. It's actually been overloading. The number of transactions have actually been overloading the site a little bit. So we've had to do some fixes to account for the incredible amount of volume that we've been getting, and people are asking every day like for a smoother trading experience, and we're trying to deliver that as fast as we can. So we're doing some bug fixes still, trying to make sure that once we launch the mainnet, it is free from anything otherwise. But right now we're fixing up the last little bits, and it's really been pretty incredible to see all the love we're getting. So really excited about that. And also just in general, I can't go into like too much detail, but there's a lot of rumblings going in the Bitcoin L2 sort of, group chats with all the teams and the ecosystem projects and things like that. So things are kind of bubbling a little bit in the background. And I don't know, if it's a 10-week bull run, that'll be great. Cause I think like, that'll be it'll be really nice for everyone in the L2 ecosystems.
Let's go. And the whole point of a testnet is doing exactly what you guys are doing, right? Overloading the network, overloading it, finding all the bugs. This is perfect for you guys. This is like the perfect situation.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like from like a builder's perspective too. Like there are some like bugs that we have like with the faucet. So like that's like one thing that comes up, and sometimes this is on like just like the side from like the chain that we're launching on, and sometimes it's on our side as well. But like this is also like a testnet issue. So like in terms of like it can be frustrating for using the testnet, but like it's faucet. You're not just gonna get like free USDT on the mainnet. So
hold on, there's no faucet on mainnet.
Unfortunately, so it's sort of like issues like these run like a little bit lower priority. So it can be like something that can frustrate the user on testnet, but it's a lower priority of fix, unfortunately. But yeah, things have been coming along nicely, and we're I think we're ramping up in these next couple weeks. We're gonna be going to mainnet soon. And we have confirmation that some trading competitions are going to be returning on mainnet as well. So we're preparing for those, and there's going to be a lot of like fun community events and ways to earn while using Artura.
Yeah, man. How confident are you? Because obviously you guys are going to Hemi. How confident are you on a potential Hemi airdrop? I know you guys don't know anything really about that. They're keeping that real tight-lipped. But like, what would you say the chances are? Do you think the chances are pretty high?
I would say the chances are pretty high. I mean, like, you know, again, nothing is set in stone here,
Yeah.
but I mean, I would be using Hemi for sure, and starting to get really integrated into the community. You know, it's going to be one of those things. I think I said it in the past, but the L2 ecosystem is really just kind of like in Bitcoin is really just like everyone's got their finger on the trigger and they're just kind of waiting to pull it. And so, you know, now that there's a lot going on in the background. So yeah, I would definitely be excited for a potential like Bitcoin L2 DeFi summer to kind of come in the next, you know, upcoming weeks.
So you're saying, but you're not saying I could possibly
I'm
double
not
dip
saying
on an airdrop.
anything, but I'm not saying anything, but yeah, I would be really excited
yeah.
to check out all the, you know, the dApps launching
Yeah.
on Hemi and Botanics when that launches.
As long as there's opportunity, there's reasons to play, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see, you know, what happens if let's just say that Shizzy is right and we get 10 weeks of bullish activity. Who pulls the trigger, right? Like what because we already know that you guys are right there, right? You're there. But the rest of kind of the Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem, because we really haven't seen much outside of like Merlin chain, right? To kind of start with that. And then you have Stacks that has been around forever, but there's this whole other group of Bitcoin layer 2s that we haven't seen much of. And you guys are going to be like, you know, one of the first to showcase Hemi. But you're saying there's some rumbling. So it's gonna be interesting if anybody holds back, even if we have like a 10-week, you know, bullish. Because some people might have in their mind, you know, well, we want to wait for the blow off the top like Q4. I'm curious. Do you think that I'm right with that thought process, or do you feel like everybody's just gonna kind of let loose?
I mean, I would say like, you know, I think like last year, like there were a lot of the L2s that came out were like Core, BitLayer, a lot of these other ones. And I think with these like kind of new version of L2s, they were I think they learned like a lot of lessons from some like these previous ones. Obviously, I think they're trying to like emulate a lot of the successes that, you know, they shared. And so I mean, like one, if you were in like the L2 ecosystem at all, like all of these guys launched incentive programs and stuff like that for, you know, their users to earn. You know, I'm pretty sure that's like one of the plans that all these other L2s kind of have that are launching now. Have going forward is to kind of emulate like you know, more incentive programs. Can you be more specific, I guess, about like your question, what you're asking more specifically?
Yeah. So right now there's you know, projects and chains that are kind of hesitant and want to you know, make sure that the environment is like bullish enough for their release, right? And I like you know, we talk to projects like you guys, which you guys are on the cusp, right? So like 10 weeks of bullishness, you guys are going to be out there, I feel like, right? That's me speaking, not you guys, but then like I feel like there might be some chain, you know, maybe chains or something that will hold back. Do you see any of that hesitancy, even if like things get a little bit more bullish right now, to wait till like the end of the year?
You know, potentially. You know, I think that it's really hard because I'm trying not to like overexpose anything from like you know, some of these private group chats that's kind of going on. But you know, I think like, you know, obviously you guys had said before, like, you know, typically like July and August is a little bit more dead. You know, I think everyone's kind of at the beach and things like that, and I'm just outside more in general. I think like it lends a little bit of like the decrease in activity. No, but I think a lot of teams are trying to hit like, you know, launch like, you know, their programs potentially. You know, if I were a team, I would be trying to launch these programs, you know, before like, you know, these summer months hit, in full swing. And then, you know, I think like, you know, people, yeah. And then, yeah, I think like maybe carry them through into maybe some of these, like the Q4 as like, you know, people start returning. Yeah. I mean, again, that's just like speaking personally and not from like any sort of like specific projects, but
that makes sense, because like you don't want to be like brand new heading into like in my opinion, heading into like late September, you know, and then like no one's really heard too much about you and all this stuff. But like if you have like kind of like over the summer, pre-summer a little bit, you know, people have been able to get familiarized with your platform, and Q4 is a blow off the top, you're going to be ready. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I think that's the general sentiment. But again, I'm speaking, you know, personally and not from anyone specifically.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a question for Marine. Marine, so when do you think retail will arrive or at all? Right. So right now, I mean, seriously,
Are they
right now
coming? Are they coming?
well, let's just say, for instance, like we are getting a little bullish right now. It definitely feels like these are hedge funds buying for the first time. Hedge funds that we've seen in the news recently. Hedge funds are actually getting involved, and we've got the big players. You got the Michael Saylor buying a crap load of Bitcoin. But when do you potentially see retail coming? Do you see it potentially this year, or maybe not?
I think I think we need like a big runner in the meme section. That's
The
the only,
meme section.
yeah.
You got to create
Okay.
FOMO. You got to create enough
Because,
FOMO.
yeah, you saw what Trump did. He created FOMO. Everybody from America, retail, just got into the Trump and all the other memes, look-alike Meta, right? And then Libra scam like flushed them all out. But I think like we need a big runner like that.
Yeah.
Something big like that.
The Doge.
Yeah.
The Doge power.
Yeah,
the
yes.
Yeah.
That dude, that to me, that's the energy we need. I
Yeah.
don't agree. I don't think that we need that Trump situation again, or like these celebrity tokens. I think we need to flush that out. And
culture coin.
we need more of like a community building. Like let's believe in something again. You know what I mean? Because the beautiful part of something like Doge or even Shiba was that like you had to put your conviction in it early on, and there's different levels of a reward if you put your conviction in it at different time periods, right? But like with what Solana happens with Solana is, yeah, Trump definitely benefited people, you know, that token, but like just the general process of Solana, it's extremely hard to, you know, catch any. It's a pure like you're going to the casino, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and retail doesn't want to go to the casino, because when retail goes to the casino, like let's just say like a soccer mom, a house mom, right? She's going with her husband and her husband's friends, and they go to a casino for a weekend, and she says, okay, $200 is my budget. I win, I keep going. I lose. She loses $200 in the first table within like 30 minutes. She's not going to want to go back to that casino for a very long time in her mind. You know what I mean? So when they go back home, and I feel like that's what Pump Fund does to retail users. So like, you know what I mean? They can't, they don't want it. They want to throw up when they think about it. And then maybe down the line, if they have a disease of degeneracy, they'll come back. But my whole point is like, we need more of the community style belief, because that's best for everybody. The meme culture is best for retail, is best for, you know, everybody. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I suggest to not like hunt new pairs, but it's better to trade like some established memes, at least few days old, not just new pairs, because 99% is just pure gambling. Through Pump Fund, dilution is big. Only like devs and farmers are making the money, rugging and all that. Yeah. It's better to buy like established memes from few million market cap, not like 50, 40K market cap and like wanting to hit 500x.
Yeah.
It's better to bet with size on bigger market caps, on some established memes. You see how the vibe is, follow the trending and all that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why leverage trading, what you guys are building with the Artura is so important, right? Because I can take 3% leverage on Bitcoin and know that I'm pretty safe. Like I know Bitcoin's not going to hit 45,000, so I can bet on that really long term if I wanted to. So that's why something like what you guys are building, you guys are going after the traders, right? Retail might come later. Obviously, that's the goal, right? To convert retail into traders, trading with leverage. Like how does Artura plan on bringing like those type of people into your project?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I think it's hard to sort of like narrow down that segment specifically, because it's sort of everybody is a part of that segment in a certain way. But I think we're just really focused on like getting feedback from all of our users. It's part of what Teston is doing. I mean, we've, in the past, maybe we said this on the show before, but like we, rebuilt the backend to be even better. We're adding like UI updates. We're adding things like, referral programs. And even if you're not like a huge into like leverage trade, you can still like deposit in the vaults. We're like trying to, give traders as many tools as possible, and give them as much information they needed as possible in order to feel like, they're really confident using our platform. And, we're trying to really be better than other, dexes out there and things like that. So we're not just trying to make another knockoff product. We're really trying to create really from the bottom of our hearts, the best trading experience that we possibly can. And we do that by interviewing people, and we've interviewed a bunch of traders already, and so many of them were like, hey, it'd be really cool if you included this feature, or hey, it'd be really cool if you included this information, and we've implemented all those all that we can so far in the time frame. So
love it. All right, guys. Well, let me ask you, Instant, is there any updates or anything that we haven't gone over that you might have for the community before we let you guys go?
No, I think just I'd be very excited for these next few weeks, both on our platform and on these L2s. Awesome. Super excited, and then super excited about the roundtable too. For the audience listening in, we're getting a group of traders with these guys, and we're gonna do a pre-record, relaxed, fun, do a little competition with that. So it's gonna be exciting. Marian, any last words from your side?
We are waiting for some more confirmation and hope for the best.
Cross our fingers, guys.
Yes, sir.
Shizzy said 10 weeks, so we'll see if it's 10 weeks of bullish times. But
Please,
we believe.
Yes, we
believe it. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Love it, guys.
But
thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, all right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
What were you about to say?
I was just going to tell them appreciate their time. Basically,
Gotcha.
you knocked it out.
Sounds good. I got a few more things if that's cool. So this is pretty funny. Bankless accidentally. So we strive to be bankless. Bankless is the top echelon of kind of what, as a YouTuber, as somebody who has a podcast, what we want to be. So I appreciate the work that these guys do, but you don't put out a video without making sure the person that is telling you they don't want to be doxxed isn't doxxed, right? So you want to explain? I'll bring up the picture. You want to explain what happened?
Yeah, I mean, there was just an interview with the founder of Pump Fund by the Bankless guys, and he shifted and then showed part of his face, and there was a token that actually got launched based on this. It was called Elon's face leaked token on Pump Fund, and it had the screenshots, all this stuff, and instantaneously Pump Fund pulled the token from their platform, which is a bit, I get yeah, I mean, of course it's Solana. What do you expect, right? But the token went from 300K to 34,000 in an instant. So it was definitely unfortunate for those people that were in it. And I get that he didn't want to dox himself, but man, having the Pump Fund team basically delist that token was just pretty wild to see. And you're right, they got to be able to give him a heads up. Hey, this happened during this recording, because he obviously is trying to keep his identity masked.
Make the thing bigger, right? Obviously this is on his part, right, as well.
So but I mean, they could have went over it and put a blur.
Yeah,
they could have blurred it.
So then, obviously people have AI, so they got the rest of his face, right? So this image right here using AI, you get the whole face. We don't know if he has sideburns. AI is just kind of guessing. We don't know if he has this flamboyant hair over here. Obviously is what's happening on this side. But when you have AI, you can basically get so I guess you could say Bankless had the founder of this is huge for Bankless too. Obviously it's kind of but everyone's talking about it, right? Everyone, any publicity is good publicity in our space, right? Especially what we do on a daily. If someone came out and says Shizzy, an idiot, says 10-week bull market, but he was wrong, that would be great for me. If CoinDesk repeated that, so this is really good for Bankless. I think it's really good for Pump Fund.
There's a limitation to that, though.
Well, there is to an extent, obviously, yeah, 100%. But this is good for Pump Fund, in my opinion. Let's let's get out of the anonymous teams, right? Obviously, some teams you have to right now, especially with guys like Artur. You don't want that right now, right? Like you want to get bigger. You want to be able to have lawyers and things because we do know that crypto is very, very crazy, right? So I understand teams like Pump Fund not wanting to dox themselves, but eventually you have to get to that next upper echelon of projects.
Yeah, I agree with that. He just probably realizes that his platform is the biggest degenerate casino in existence, and probably there's a lot of people that don't like him and his platform. And I don't think that people. This is my personal opinion. Should like be upset with the devs of something like Pump Fund. Yes, like in the sense of like how much they've made. Should they do give back? I do think that should be the case, but in terms of like the platform itself and it being like just this huge casino, that's the user's fault. That's the space's fault for diving into it and being greedy.
Yeah.
And look, I'm talking to myself too. I like every once in a while I'll participate and stuff like that. But until we as a space like make a stand and say, hey, look, like we're not going to keep making you super duper rich, because he is super duper rich. I mean, the guy's like made like their average and their peak was $17 million in revenue a day. So I mean, people complain about our space, including myself. Like I said, I always include myself if I partake in stuff like that, about how like it's so dry, there's no retail here, it's always just a bunch of casinos and stuff, but we are enabling it. So you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, like, all right, I guess I'm fine with it, or I'm not going to be fine with it. And that's the only thing that's going to stop it. And, you got to think about like, what do people from the outside think? Like, they're not going to come to this shit. Like if there's like they see like you have a problem and your brother sees you and you're just like on Pump Fund the whole like for like 2 weeks straight, and now when you had your celebrations at the end, you come out broke, smoking a million cigarettes, look like you've been in a crack house for like 2 weeks. Your brother's not going to want to participate in crypto. You know what I mean?
Well, that just shows you have a gambling problem. Like you have a problem yourself, because you can play bingo like that, right? It doesn't have to be crypto. Right. So you can
bingo's different. Like the way that this works is like it's instantaneous, right? It literally is like, click of a button, blah, 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 and you're using all these photons.
Buy $10,000 in lottery tickets, right? Like
you could.
You know what I mean? Like, to blame crypto, I don't think it's fair, right?
I'm not blaming crypto. I'm blaming
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like in general, like for people
the outside. But that's perception though. That's perception, and who controls perception? The users.
Yeah,
the users control the space, controls perception. Or I
agree. But if you can make a product like Pump Fund, it's where users don't mind paying you as much as possible, right? Like enabling, and you're enabling users to do whatever they want. It's freedom, right? So all Pump Fund did was create freedom. Like let's just say, for instance, Jeff Bezos, right? He created an amazing product. Yes, he's destroying small businesses everywhere, but I enable him because I bought some Amazon stuff this morning. He made a great product that gets to my house in a few hours. So in that sense, I don't think we should blame Pump Fund. I think people need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I have a gambling addiction.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying exactly what I said. Like, I blame the,
the way I heard it was people on the outside kind of looking in
at the users. And you know what I mean? And saying like, oh, these guys, like, this is how they live. This is who they are. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, no wonder TradFi took forever. And no wonder TradFi is being secretive in what they're building. Because honestly, TradFi probably wants to clear everything out, like the everyday crypto participants and their platforms out, because they don't, if they're going to be a part of this, they want to put a new stigma to it. They want to make it like, this is the clean, this is the cleaned up version of crypto. This is the professional thing. We don't do this stupid like meme coin casino every second, and like I said, I participate in it too sometimes, right? So I'm talking to myself as well. So but I do think that there's going to be a gutting of our industry, and the gambling part is going to be shoved into a corner in terms of like this launch meme launch pad casino thing that like you have like bots from like India and Asia and US and all these teams and stuff like that, like extracting, right? That thing, that whole part of our space, in my opinion, is going to be shoved in the corner. And I'm not against like gambling as an adult. You're an adult, whatever, like, but it's just, if that's the main thing that you're known for, that's probably going to be a problem in the future.
Well, we seen what TradFi did to Luna. One of the big rumors is TradFi actually, because it took a lot of money to destroy Luna, right? But what destroying Luna did, it created mass like paranoia, which destroyed Celsius, destroyed every FTX at the end, right? So it seems like if TradFi doesn't like what you're doing, they will destroy you. And can you see TradFi potentially trying to destroy something like putting this guy in jail? That would do that, right?
Possibly, because they realize that that's capital that could flow to more substantive products and platforms, right? But what did that also do to outside perception? Like that set crypto back by years once FTX collapsed. And then you had like celebrities and comedians joking about crypto, like as a joke, like in the movies, and Tom Brady joking with Tom Brady about it, and Tom Brady joking about it, right? And so,
who did that benefit? That benefit BlackRock. They were buying Bitcoin at $16,000.
Sure. It did at that time. Once they realized that they couldn't get rid of it, right? They had to make the decision of joining it, or it's just always going to be this nuisance that's going to be a thorn in their side, right? But I'm actually looking forward to some of these like really solid products, and that's why I like sometimes when we do Arch Thursdays, when they have like this like RWA type of wrapping of TradFi assets and stuff, right? I think the RWA industry is going to change the game, and or like actual business owners. I'd love to see like a grassroots business owner team up with like a developer to develop an awesome like platform product that makes life for people easier, but they get goods for their assets. They're not just always laying their assets on the line to hoping that the ball rolls on black, but then a lot of times they lose it because it rolls on red, right? It's more of like a society, to be intertwined with society and to be like a financial exchange of monetary valuable assets. There has to be a two-way street of what you're receiving and what you're giving that's feels like it's an at least close to an equal exchange for the consumer. Because if you don't get that, then you're not going to get mass adoption.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100%. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get some comments before we get into Bitcoin ecosystem news here, because we have a bunch of comments just came in. So Anthony Paulino, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. He says LFG. Babu says Mr. Yagabi and Mr. Shizzy. What's up, buddies? What's up, Babu? Babu also says, by the way, how many party tokens airdrop you guys got? So that news dropped right as we were doing research for the show, so we didn't actually get a chance, but that is actually in the news that we're about to speak of. So I'm going to hold our thoughts on that just for a few seconds, but I promise you we'll get to that. He said party is the particle network token, by the way. Yes, we're going to get into that in a few seconds. Anthony Paulino says, when is dog going to bounce? I got my bags packed. Yes, I have my bags packed. I have my bags packed on fluid. I have my bags packed in multiple watts. I am ready for the dog bounce. But you want to answer that question? When is the dog bounce?
Tuesday.
You heard him here, guys.
Not today, Tuesday, though.
So 7 days from today, guys. You can count on it. I actually think that. I think you're 100% right. I think Bitcoin has to move first, and then potentially you're going to see a lot of these runes and stuff move. So actually, if I had to pick a day, I would say probably next Monday or Tuesday for sure. PJNZ says, morning all. He said, hey there, a good safe exchange or service to buy crypto using PayPal. I'm struggling to find or onboard that my bank won't try to question on Visa, but PayPal is already. So this is what you do. Open up a Cash App, buy Bitcoin with the Cash App, send that Bitcoin to either MEXC or somewhere else to buy whatever you want to do. Or if you want to get Bitcoin, you can send that to your wallet and you can buy stuff here. Or you can also use Magic Eden to swap Bitcoin into Ethereum or Solana or whatever. But my favorite, personally, is I buy Bitcoin on Cash App, and then if I want to get into something a little bit more risky, I just go down the risk curve a little bit and go to different places. But do you have place as well?
No, not exchange, but I do expect that to change soon.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they develop their own exchange. Like I said, the industry is going to look very different in the next couple of years. But as of right now, I don't know an exchange that accepts PayPal. But I'm sure there's got to be some options out there because PayPal's getting more and more involved. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, what you could do is you can take that Bitcoin, right? Because you're able to deposit Bitcoin in PayPal. I think it's what you said your brother has done.
yeah, yep.
So you can buy the Bitcoin on Cash App because it just looks like you deposit the money on Cash App. So now your bank just looks like you deposited money on your app. Buy the Bitcoin and then send the Bitcoin to PayPal. That's
Yeah,
another
or you
way.
can just buy it directly from PayPal. You can buy Bitcoin with cash there. But
That's true.
I think he's looking for alts. Is that correct? PJ and NZ, you're looking to be able to do that because if you're just looking to buy Bitcoin, you can do that directly on PayPal.
Yeah. Yep. Anthony Paulino says donations going to come from Elon. I'm curious if Elon has ever donated to the Doge Foundation. It's a good question.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure he has some Doge. He has to have. If he has 0 Doge, that's so bearish for Doge. How much he's
Yeah.
talked about it in the past.
He did say in 2021 that he did hold Doge. So
Okay.
no one really knows how much he holds though. Anthony Paulino says, I think there is a yearly cap on Dogecoin. I could be wrong. No, there's no cap at all. That thing. No, it's funny
Well,
part about
there-
Dogecoin
Mhm.
is it's random. Like there is no having nothing. Every block is a very random. You can get 1 Dogecoin or you can get 1 million Dogecoin. In every single block. It doesn't matter. You just got to get lucky. But there's blocks every I think it's like 30 seconds.
There is a cap. There's
There's a cap?
there's an annual emissions cap now.
What is that?
So see right here it says Dogecoin supply inflation is currently 3.9% per year.
Oh wow.
And it falls every year. Over time, new supply eventually would fall to an arbitrary low value of very low percent per year, but can never reach exactly 0.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
Yeah,
it's
actually
it's
it has
capped.
to be
It's
upgrade.
yeah,
Update.
so it's in 2022, I think they did it, but they
Gotcha.
so it's capped at that inflation percentage set for that year.
Sounds good. Patty Poo says Magic Eden going forward 22.5%. 225 million tokens are left to be distributed to stakers. Whoa. I am staked for 4 years, so
Nice.
I would love some more. I would love some more. So, Patty Poo, that was the smartest thing I ever did. Staked that for 4 years because I got 4 times the amount I staked, and then so now I'm just like, whatever. It doesn't even matter now. But if I get future staking rewards, awesome. Because hopefully it's $100 a coin in 2024 when I unlock, and then I'm unlocking 100 grand. That would be cool. But we'll see. Mr. Unfiltered said, did Merlin users? Yes, we're gonna get into that. Promise. Mr. Unfiltered said, I couldn't even. Yeah, we'll get to that second. Seeker Mint GM Builders, what's up, buddy? And then MoChain says, why the F? I always find you guys live. What up, gang? What's up, man? We're always live. We're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, every single day. Monday to Friday, of course. I said every day, but I meant Monday to Friday. Fuck it. Let's like it gets bullish. Let's do a Saturday stream. I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about
that later. we need at least one day rest, guys. We'll see. Because we on Sunday, you think
we
we're
work
resting,
Sundays, guys.
We work hard Sundays. Putting on a show, all you guys see is the 11 to 1 that we're live. But the amount of work that actually goes into the show, preparation and getting everything, it's a lot more than you would think. A lot more than I thought, anyway. All right, let's kind of get into the Bitcoin ecosystem stuff because today's a big day, bro. Taproot Wizards mints today. Are you interested in getting a Taproot Wizard? Obviously, we don't have whitelist. We didn't get showers in our wizard costumes, unfortunately. But are you interested in getting one on secondary?
I'm not going to get one, but I'm sure that people are going to do well with them. It's good. It's actually good for the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah.
Look, whenever Udi and the Taproot Wizards they do a launch, it's good for our space because they have money. They have money, and so they're able to make the launch a success. Same goes for OMB for the most part, except for the Orange Eyes whenever they had that slip up, but still they were able to clean it up. And there's specific people that can do this, that can charge higher, that have the social influence, that have the connections, the network, all that stuff, right? And Udi is one of them, him and his team. And so I'm not going to be minting one today, but I do know that the people that are minting, in my opinion, I could be wrong here, they're going to probably make out very well with this, and it should elevate, you know, some of these other blue chip collections. It might not happen right away because, you know, look, people are acting poor, like, and that's not like to, you know, make people feel. I'm talking about myself too. I'm acting poor too.
Yeah.
Like everybody's acting this way, but it's like a contagious thing. If you look on Solana, like the pump fund stuff, like we already talked about this, I won't go deep into it, but like there's this big social viral meme. It's called what is it called? Well, it was this Saragota water.
Oh yeah.
Remember that guy? The what is it called? Every day you have your his program
Morning routine.
Yes, routine, right? That token routine took off. Is that big black dude that's in shape? It took off, but like in normal times, like pre like Trump token, that token would at least gone to, in my opinion, like $100 million market cap, and the Saragota water thing would have gotten to probably like 30 or 40 million. People were like selling like crazy at like 15 million, and it's all the way down to like 5 million now, right? And just in a couple of days, it was a hot meme in terms of like viral, all this stuff. So everybody in the space right now is just acting like super, just like, you know, poor. I mean, that's just, and so whenever Udi brings like this collection in, it feels like he's like, oh, you know, overcharging all these things. No, he's actually going to be able to mint this out because people are looking at this as like, who's behind it? They're anticipating the resale value of it. And if you look at Quantum Cats was one of the strongest projects to hold their floor price for the longest time. Do you remember that? You know, it did it for about 4 months to where it was like head and shoulders above everybody else. And so I think this is going to be a success. But yeah, hopefully as a space, we can kind of get out of that mentality. And it's everybody too. It's not just one group of people or anything. Everybody just seems very like they're just making sure they can make their $2 and get out. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro, these are 16. What is it? Like $17,000. It's not. You could say poor, but you could buy a Honda Civic for $17,000, right? A brand new one. Like, so it's kind of like that's a lot of money. Like, so yeah. But real quick though, it's important to note that Bitcoin Wizards is it's a descent of from the Taproot Wizard project, so it's not the same. While both draw inspiration from the original Bitcoin Wizard meme, they're separate initiatives. So I originally thought they were going to add to this, but then realized Taproot Wizards and Bitcoin Wizards are different. Like, did you not? I thought this was Udi, but it's not. It's not Udi. He helped with the process, but he didn't really make anything from this.
Oh, so that part of the Taproot Wizards project though, or
this
company?
Has nothing to do with Taproot Wizards. No.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Gotcha.
So their only project right now is
Quantum Cats. Yeah.
And now Taproot Wizards. So I originally thought, I was like, okay, so why don't I just buy one of these and not pay the 0.2, right? Because it's the same. But no, I'm wrong. There's Taproot Wizards, which is launching today, which were actually minted around the same time these were minted. They were just kind of sitting on a shelf.
Yeah. Did you see
didn't even know that.
Have you seen the images of the Taproot Wizards?
I haven't.
I wonder what they look like.
Yeah.
Dude, so like, you know what could happen here? How much are those right now? The floor of those
0.04 for about $3,800, $3,900.
Depending on what the supply is.
This is 1.3. So the supply of the other ones is about 2,200, but that's not including. They're giving away a bunch of them as well. But what is minting today is 2,200. But then guys like CB Spears and like the bigger guys who helped out with the project and stuff are actually getting one as well. So they're not included yet with that. But right now it's about 2,200 that are launching.
Okay, so the artist of Puppets was that artist? He was like what LeFou?
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. Was he also the artist of Opium?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where this probably won't work out then, because Puppets were just driving up in price, you know, like crazy. But they have never ever passed the floor price of Opium, and there's a reason for that. It's because Opium was the original. So I was like, man, maybe buying some of these wizards would have like some sort of similar market dynamics, you know what I mean? And the Taproot Wizards driving up might drive these up, but if they're completely separate, then probably won't have the same effect.
Yeah. You're thinking it's just like I was thinking this morning. I asked ChatGPT this morning. I said, "Is the Bitcoin Wizards and Taproot Wizards the same?" And they actually did research and it said no. Taproot Wizards are a project by Udi. The Bitcoin Wizards are just a community initiative. So
Interesting.
I don't know what that means. Udi was a part of that community, but they're saying it was just a community initiative. So apparently they were launched for free. There was no for these guys. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what ChatGPT told me today. So yeah, so these have no. This is made by Maven Spot or something. He's the original artist to this.
Oh, so he's the one that also probably did the Magic Internet Money room.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's him.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, move along in here. So Limitless. So I have a problem with Limitless a little bit. So he did a raise. He raised money. He sold his bitmap parcels, and he went away. It's been about 2 months now. About I want to say 40 to 50 days later, before you really hear from him again. And which kind of annoys me with that. You don't do a raise and go away. You do a raise and have things ready. Maybe you don't do your raise until you have things ready. But he did a raise, and it's been 40, 50 days of pretty much silence. And but he came out today. He said, with AI, you essentially have a panel of PhDs on retainer. No excuse not to make it. We'll be setting a private AI panel with the Emporium early next month. So they're bringing Emporium now to their bringing AI to the Emporium. So I don't know. I kind of have a problem, and we participated in the land grab as well. But then, we're 2 months later, and it's kind of nothing. Another bitmap builder who just kind of took from the ecosystem.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about, the AI thing, but it seems like he's I don't know. It also seems like he kind of builds to bring all of the things together. But I also wasn't looking at his account. I wasn't following him, trying to look for stuff, but you might have been. But I
follow
wasn't.
Everybody, yeah.
I wasn't intentionally kind of going to see like
we own the land, right?
Yeah, I know,
what we can do on that land.
Which I think there was people that built stuff on their parcels, right? I think there was like some Nat Cats or something that were on there. I can't remember exactly. And so, but that's something that I would need to dive into before I figure, can say there's nothing we can do with it yet. But definitely went quiet from my timeline, at least.
Well, let me tell you, his last post was March 14th. And then a post before that was March 10th. And then a post before that was March 1st. So he's about every 10 days. My only problem, he can do this whatever he wants, is the raise in, I want to say like February. And then you raise money and then you kind of disappear a little bit. I just have that. That's my only problem with it, right? So he'd come out in a few weeks and be like, guys, this is what we're building. Boom. All that maybe is under, but I just think that if you do a raise, you should have a product like that's going to be exciting, right? So, and what I'm seeing so far, I'm not seeing no excitement whatsoever. So,
yeah, I mean that's kind of a typical parcel raise, right? So
that's what I'm saying. The bitmap builders only take, it seems like. So,
well, yeah, I mean, was there anything
like with the bitmap community? Remember they did that raise, and then they went away.
Well, bitmap community also did they had to change the standard because the standard changed like twice for parcels and all that. So that was the biggest problem initially, was there was no central kind of like guidance of like parceling. And so if there was a vulnerability within like the asset, it was the parceling part that anybody could take advantage of, and they did.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so anyways.
All right, moving along here. Last thing here before we get out of here is obviously the Particle Network. So Particle Network went live today on Binance. Maryland Chain actually put out a post here. Let me actually show you my screen. Maryland Chain says Party is now claimable at universalx.app. Party, P-A-R-T-I, not to be with the BRC20, which is P-A-R-T-Y. So it's P-A-R-T-I, is an economic powerhouse behind the Particle chain. Oh, wow. Particle chain. I got to play over there. Particle's L1 blockchain and coordination engine behind universal accounts. By decentralizing the Particle chain, Party will fuel universal accounts growth, supercharge our ecosystem, and reward those building the future of unified Web3. In short, Party is designed to capture the value of chain abstraction and fuel the infrastructure enabling it. And now it's yours to claim. If you've traded on Universal X, and Yagabi actually put out a tutorial, if you were paying attention during that time period and you used it, you have an airdrop on any wallet that you used with that. I'm sure Yagabi, I'm sure you have one as well from that tutorial alone. So definitely check that tutorial wallet. But or took part in earlier campaigns like Particle Pioneering, the People's Launchpad. I actually did the People's Launchpad. I think you did too. And even if you use Particle's embedded wallet, you have some party waiting for you. So guys, if you participated on Merlin whatsoever using your Unisat wallet, and then eventually your Xverse, because that came later, you have a PARTI airdrop waiting for you. So I'm gonna figure out how to do this today, and I'll let you guys know exactly how to do it. But you guys can try to figure it out as well. I mean, I'm sure it's easy. Hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna figure it out. But maybe we'll like hopefully, if there's anybody in the chat who's figured this out yet, please let us know. But I really haven't at the time. But what do you think about the PARTI token and everything Particle Network is building?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, the Particle Network, you know, from my experience, this cycle was the first to introduce account abstraction with Merlin chain and Bitcoin. So they're doing huge things behind the scene. And if they can, you know, really integrate it to these other UTXO chains like, you know, Cardano and not just UTXO chains, but like just other chains in general, they could kind of market the account abstraction, you know, market in general, right? But there are other people doing things for account abstraction, so they just have a head start and they're really good at it, right? Like they had to kind of get through the bumps and bruises initially. There was little issues here, little issues there, but we've worked kind of with their team actually for, you know, helping some previous partners and stuff like that, in terms of getting connected with them. And so they have that head start. I'm excited to see what their L1 looks like, because I imagine their L1 is going to be this huge kind of melting pot of all these like other chain tech stacks and stuff, standards, and you can just all integrate it into them. We'll see though.
Imagine using their chain and just being able to hook up any wallet you want, like the Xverse wallet, like whatever. It doesn't matter. Like that would be, because I'm sure they'll have this smart icon on the bottom. Like they're changing the game. They really are. Account abstraction.
Why wouldn't someone build a chain like that anyways right now?
Yeah,
that's the smartest thing to do, in my opinion, to build a chain that can work with UTXO, can work with EVM, can work with SVM, can work with WASM, right? Can work with all these different type of tech stacks to where any developer in the space currently can go and build there. Like that to me is the ultimate project. And you know, of course, like security comes into play, right? People are gonna be like, okay, what about security? Well, obviously you got to count for security. So whatever you got to do there, you got to figure out, you know, does it need to be a bit centralized, but you can allow all these things to be in place. And the only reason you would bring centralization into it is for security, which at the end of the day, that's what, you know, centralization helps with.
So Solana,
except
they don't like something.
Yeah, well, kind of, right? Yeah, it does. But like, I'm talking about more of like Web 2 entities. We don't want it that closed off, obviously, you know, to where it's like proprietary or anything like that. But I think that would be the ultimate chain to be able to do anything with any asset on. Yeah,
I agree. Yep.
So,
yeah, man. Shout out to MoChain. Thank you so much for your $5.99 euros, or is it called pounds or euros? Euros. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. We actually named OnChain after MoChain. We loved your name so much that we were like, how can we be more like MoChain? I'm just kidding, but shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and he has a couple questions here. We'll knock them out. He says, when will ETH and Sol get NFTs actually on the blockchain? Never, probably. Surprising
descriptions.
Yeah. CryptoPunks actually do live on Ethereum's blockchain. Other than that, I think maybe Mooncats, but they're very select few early crypto collections. And then once they realized they could use, you know, the IPFS links, they were like, oh, it's more efficient, but they didn't realize, I don't think that it takes away the value, you know, in my opinion, because who knows if that collection founder is going to continually pay his cloud service that he hosts your images on, right? So,
Yep, 100%.
he also says their investment on Odin. Not sure what you meant by that.
He means by Udi. So Udi invested. Udi's like the worst investor. He invested AIXVT at the top, and then I feel like he invested Odin at the top. I don't know. What do you think?
Odin to me is I wouldn't consider that the top, but because we still have like this, know, this bull market ahead of us. But
AIXVT.
That one was tough. That one was tough.
Yeah.
You know, like he deployed $1 million into it at $500 million market cap. It got to 650.
500 million, yeah.
It got to 650, I think, or 7. Do you take profit then? Probably try to take like at least like a quarter out. Like I'm saying that from, like my perspective, but who knows what he took out, what he didn't. But I definitely, think the Odin one's probably more safe because now he can, hope for fees at least. Okay. And then I think
that's make a video on it. I think
for the particle.
Particle. So yeah. So once we figure it out, and if we can't figure it out, we'll reach out to Jeff and make sure we figure it out. But once we figure it out, we'll do a video on it either today or tomorrow. Promise you guys. So yeah, look out for that. It's a complete walkthrough. But guys, that is our show today. We really appreciate 257 people watching on YouTube and X, and then everyone else on Abstract, on so many other places. It's Abstract. It'll be Twitch later. I'm sorry, no, it's Twitch now. It'll be Spotify later, and so many other places as well. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. And like Shizzy said, we do appreciate you guys. Without y'all, we couldn't do what we love. And without our partners, we also couldn't do what we love. So we ask if you could check them out. That would be a great help for us. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your Bitcoin puppets, your node monks from Bitcoin to Merlin Chain to Base to Abstract. Abstract has a pretty good, strong community for NFTs as well. So you're going to be able to do that. If you would like to use their AI agent Hustle, you're going to be able to use him to be able to do that on your behalf. So you don't have to do all the manual work there. Super cool. Once that's going to be ready for the Bitcoin side of things, they are getting, the beta version completed for Solana. They also have a TGE for their rune. So they have a Bitcoin rune for their main token for their company. The Emblem Vault founder keys is you can actually kind of trade that right now before the TGE in September as an ERC 721 on OpenSea. And once the TGE comes, you can get those into your Bitcoin wallet. So right now there's a secondary market for the kind of pre-sale, I guess, if you will, for that. You can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, of course, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets on their markets right away. They have their new instant fast markets called the Blitz markets, which gives you about 10 minutes to select what you want to do. If you want to go up or down with Bitcoin, BNB, Solana. And then once that price is locked in and that 10 minutes is up, you get an additional 10 minutes to see if you won or not. And the payouts are instant because that is a short-term bet, right? So super exciting stuff with that, as well as their future is going to be, able to actually create your own markets and earn on the volume of what you can produce there, up to 1.5%. Super, super great stuff. They also have a future rune coming, and you can actually earn points right now for that TGE in the future. All you got to do is open an account. You can use small bets or whatever. You just increase the points. That's how you farm it. You can learn about all this at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. We just talked about them today when we had those guys on. You're going to be able to actually trade synthetic Bitcoin fungible tokens like Ordi, Sats, Doggo to the Moon, $1 billion cat, and eventually tokens outside the ecosystem like Tau and XRP. Those are the ones that are on the testnet right now, but super exciting stuff. You can utilize their testnet for paper trading right now. It is on the Botonix Bitcoin Layer 2 network, but eventually they're going to be able to launch on Hemi Bitcoin Layer 2 in the near future as well. You can learn more at artura.finance. And Fluid Tokens, the first to offer retail staking vaults to the Bitcoin community. If you have Pep Odin's tokens or Sparks tokens, which are runes from Odin, you can actually stake those right now because those communities set up staking vaults with Raul. They will always have some new staking vaults available for you. If you're a founder of an Ordinal collection or you etched a room, but you have an established community, you can get a staking vault set up for you right away with Raul. They also have their Aquarium protocol that's going to be able to bridge Bitcoin and Cardano for the account abstraction that we're talking about earlier. These guys are crushing it, guys. You can learn more about everything they offer at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, the #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you want to swap for Doggo to the Moon, you can do so at merlinswap.org, as they have a strong liquidity pool there. You can utilize your Merlin tokens or your Rep BTC to do so. Also, if you do hold more Merlin tokens, you can stake to help secure the chain in the proof of stake and earn up to 15% APR for the Merlin Chain tokens. And they're going to be adding Bitcoin to help with the proof of stake with that as well. But we don't have the exact percent earning for that, but we will get it and let you guys know as soon as we find out. And lastly, we have our integrated partners in Foxy AI building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and the first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker. And unfortunately, today we will not be live streaming because the team has to do some tie up a couple of loose ends and stuff with their platform. So we'll push that to next week. But fun stuff. Anybody can play. All you need is a compatible wallet. So any Bitcoin wallet. And I think they accept Phantom and MetaMask as well. And Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. The cheapest Ordinals around will be on Ordinal Hive, Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. And we appreciate you guys for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone entering your space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN. That's Nord. Everyone should have a VPN. If it's not Nord, it should be another one. Nord is $3, I think, with using this link here, $3 a month. I think I paid for the year, so I'm set, but that's up to you guys. But like I said, there's free ones out there. You shouldn't go to any website with your IP hanging out, guys. You don't want that. I don't want that. Just don't do it. There's no reason to do it. Get a VPN, use our link, get a Nord if you want. But like I said, there's free ones, but I truly recommend Nord. So if you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we have the tickets here. They actually get really, really expensive. So if you guys are interested in getting them, get them as soon as possible. Get them today. It seems like every Friday they go up, especially as we enter the month of April and May. So if you guys are interested, get that. And if you want access to all 3 days, you want the industry pass. The festival pass is just the second 2 days. So the industry pass was cool because we were walking around and it wasn't many people in there. It was really awesome. We got to talk to a lot of really big people around the space, which was great. So get your tickets through us. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, we have everything here. Click our store tab, and then I'll take you to our store. We got, hats, jackets, hoodies, everything you guys are going to need all through OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.